After making the flare at the waistline, the next thing I'm going to do is to cut this strip of fabric, which I'm going to use as a strap for the second side of the shoulder. I'm going to attach it here at the front and then also there at the back. This is the waistband I'm going to be using. I've cut two pieces of this and I've notched the center at the top and at the bottom. I'm going to take the bodice, then I'm going to fix the band on it. I'm going to get the center of the bodice also and align this band. I'll put one piece of the band on the right side, align the notches to the center of the bodice. Then the second piece, I'm going to place it on the inside where I have the lining. Then I'm going to go ahead and sew it by 0.5 inch at the edge. I've gone ahead to put a soft stay on my band, just one part of the band, the one that will be outside. After sewing the band, I'm going to flip it over this way and go ahead to press it with my iron. Now I'm going to take the skirt part of the dress. I'm going to get the middle of the waist. I'm going to notch it with my scissors. Then I'm going to place it on the notch I have on the band. The part of the band where I have my stay, which is the fusible interfacing, I'm going to place it on the right side of the skirt where I have the flare, the double folded flare, and then I'm going to pin that down. I'm going to sew that down by 0.5 inch. So this is my lining. I've gone ahead to cut it as a flare also, but I've cut it shorter than the normal skirt. So now the remaining part of the band, the second one, I'm going to be attaching my flare on it. I'm going to get the middle of the waistline of the flare and I'm going to notch it. So I'll place that notch to the notch on the band and then I'm going to pin it down all the way and sew it by 0.5 inch. I'll finish joining the lining and this is what it looks like. I'm going to go inside where I have the band and I'm going to take the part of the band where I joined the skirt of the dress and where I joined the lining. I'm going to bring them together here like so, and I'm going to use needle and thread to join them together. You can also use your machine to sew them down, but I'll be using needle and thread to tack them together so that they will stay together and stay in place and give it a firm structure on the waist. So I've prepared the strap I've tidied the edge by 0.5 and I've turned it inside out. So I'll be attaching it on the bodice. I should have put it inside when sewing the neckline. That would have been a neater option. But because it was a last minute decision by the owner of the dress, so I had to attach it this way. I'm simply going to fold the edges inside by 1/2 inch. Then I'll place it on the edge of the neckline and stitch it down at the front and at the back. Now I want to cut the fabric I'm going to be using for the rose. I'm going to cut something curved this way. One part of the fabric is going to be smaller than the other part, so I'm going to cut it curved. So I'm going to sew this on the edges. I cut 2 pieces of this, by the way, and I'm going to be sewing the edges. I'll leave this part, I won't sew this part. You can use about 15 to 20 inches to do your rose. After sewing it this way, I'm going to turn it. Then I'm going to press it down with my iron. At that part where I didn't sew, I'm going to give it a bit of pleat. You can also use gathers also. Then you're going to be turning it. You're going to be turning it to form the rose this way. You can adjust, After making it and you're satisfied, then you use your needle and thread or your sewing machine to sew down the bottom part of the rose. After stitching it down, this is what my rose looks like. And now I'm going to be placing it here at the top of the strap of the front. So I'm going to use my needle and thread also to tack it down. Or you can still use a sewing machine to tack it down also, depending on what you want to use. But make it as neat as possible. So the back of the dress, I'm going to attach my zip. And that will be the final thing on the dress. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please kindly like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new here, and click the notification bell. Thank you.